In your book, Into the Bright Sunshine, you make the case that many people often mistakenly believe that Brown v. Board of Education or Rosa Parks and the bus boycotts were the starting points of the civil rights movement. There was this one event that happened almost 6 years prior to that at the Democratic National Convention of 1948, which set the civil rights movement in motion. So let's shed some light there. Who was Hubert Humphrey and what role did he play in the civil rights movement?
Right. Well, Hubert Humphrey, as maybe some of your viewers know, later became a longtime U.S. Senator. He was the vice president with Lyndon Johnson. But they also, if they remember anything about him, remember or are aware of the kind of the conventional view of him, which has come down over the years, which is that he had betrayed liberalism by supporting the Vietnam War. He ran too many times futilely for president, and even by one of the last races when he was running for the Democratic nomination in 1972 against George McGovern, looked like this. It was this figure who was an object of ridicule. He's frenetic and desperate, and so he's remembered, if at all, with this mixture of scorn and pity. And yet there was this earlier version or a part of Humphrey who people may not know at all, who was this incredibly bold leader on civil rights. And keep in mind, he also did astonishing work on behalf of civil rights as Lyndon Johnson's vice president and in the Senate as well. But it all really begins in the 1940s and hits a crescendo at the 1948 Democratic Convention. And what's remarkable is that people, again, think of Humphrey as sort of this career politician because he had like 3-decade career in public life before his death in 1978. But at the 1948 Democratic Convention, he's a kid, politically speaking. He's 37 years old. He's the mayor of a mid-sized city, Minneapolis. It's the only elected office he's ever held. He's only had it for 3 years. And yet he becomes one of the leading civil rights figures in the United States at that moment because of a battle, which we'll talk about, I know, over what the Democratic Party's stance should be on civil rights. And he's part of a cohort of people, black and white alike, who are essential to this underappreciated civil rights movement of the 1940s. It's, you have people like A. Philip Randolph, who was a great black labor leader and civil rights leader, and Walter White, the executive secretary of the NAACP, who were just in different and complementary ways waging this incredible battle on behalf of racial equality all through the 1940s, and a battle, and this goes somewhat to the point I was making about Double V before, a battle for civil rights that's inextricably bound up with the experience of the global war against fascism in World War II.